It's definitely interesting and very different. And then Nine of Cups on the bottom. It's like, where to next? Enjoy all these things that you've done for yourself, all these fruits of your labor. Also understand that you're in the middle of an answered prayer right now. It might be a prayer from when you were 6 years old, who knows? But the exact reality you're in right now is something you were asking for at a point in time. Yeah, it may have come and the reality of it might be different, you know, that thing that you really wanted might have been the biggest lesson you've gotten all year, but understand it's an answered prayer nonetheless. So at the very, very least, it's an indicator of your power and your ability to create life, your ability to create your reality the way you want. So yeah, understand that. Take pride in it. Look around. Take scope. See how much of the things around you are things that you asked for at one point. See how much of your experience is an answered prayer, even if it's not something you pray for now, even if it's not something you even see as a blessing now. Understand that it is, and understand that, like I said, at the very least, it's proof of your magic. It's proof of what you are able to create for yourself. It's proof of your ability to manifest. So once you get clear on that, from that vibration, think about what's next. What's the next answered prayer? While also understanding that, yeah, once you get to it, you'll probably already be on to the next thing. You know, you'll probably already, your eyes will probably already be further into the future, further up higher as you continue to ascend. And understand that that doesn't make where you are right now any less than. It's just understanding that by the time things play out in the physical, you you have to be a certain amount of detached for things to even come into place, you know? So by the time it shows up in the physical, you're probably not sitting there like waiting for it anymore. You're probably detached from it because that's how things have to come in. If you're super attached to them or you feel like, you know, like, oh, where is it? Where is it? You're waiting on it. Now you're in a lack vibration. So the things not aren't going to even come in anyway. So just the fact that things were able to come into your experience means you were detached from them. Even if it's just like, that doesn't mean like, oh, you don't care about it at all. Or it's comes, it's like, oh, I don't even want that anymore. But it's just kind of like, oh, okay, like, yeah, thank you. That's really great. Like, but you're already, you know, experiencing that abundance. You're already experiencing that support, that love, or whatever it is that came in. You're already experiencing it, which is why it was able to come in. So understand that you're always gonna, your present is always gonna feel like there's more to do, there's more to chase, there's more to go after. It's never gonna feel like enough if you don't understand that. Like if you don't really understand that at a deep, deep level, like okay, like by the time my things come in, chances are I'm gonna already be mentally on to the next thing. So it's like I can't, where I'm at right now has to be enough. I have to understand that I'm in the middle of an answered prayer right now, several answered prayers, honestly, and the next one is coming too. But this space I'm in right now doesn't have to be a space of lack. It doesn't have to be a space of reminders of where I'm not at, of what I don't have, or any of that. It can just be, wow, I'm in the middle of answered prayers. Oh yeah, I remember when I was 8 and I asked, and I was like, yeah, one day I'm gonna do this, or one day I'm gonna have this, or oh yeah, when I get to this age, I'm gonna have this, this, and that, and then you got to that age and you had it, or you know, and it's just like have that appreciation for those versions that wanted those things, you know. Be like, shit, if you, even if you're like, yo, I'm ready to get to this next thing, yo, be grateful for your 8-year-old self. Feel their gratitude because it's still there. Feel the gratitude of the 14-year-old who just wanted to be able to go outside, who just wanted to be able to go hang out with his friends. And it's like you sit here and decline offers to hang out with your friends all the time. Like it's like, yo, have gratitude for them. Like, wow, like I I live a life that's so great that's like, wow, at one point I would have given everything, I would have sacrificed everything to go hang out with that friend. And it's like right now I get to choose myself and understand that, you know, that pours into my cup as well too. It's like that's such a blessing. Like imagine if you were still operating as that 8-year-old self who, you know, who was like, yo, the most important thing on their mind was being able to hang out. It's like, yo, they would have did anything to hang out. They would have skipped school. They would have sacrificed all type of things. Got in trouble, got grounded, and all that. Just and it would have been worth it because they just wanted to hang with that friend. And it's like now you get to do that all the time if you wanted to, and you get to do it so free that there's times you don't even want to do it. So it's like, yeah, just understand that right now you're in the middle of an answered prayer from some version of you. Who knows which version of you? You know which version of you. But yeah, honor that and honor them through that and allow that to kind of lead its way to peace in the present moment. because like, yeah, at any given moment, there's enough around you to remind you of where you've been and that you were asking for at any given time. So it's like, if you want proof of your abundance or you don't feel abundant, look around and think about who you've been, and talk to some of those versions. I'm going to keep telling y'all, have conversations with those past versions, write them letters, and realize, like, yo, like you're doing it for them, and they're inside geeked right now. The very things that you're like, I'm over this, or the things you're jaded with. It's like that. There's a version of you who exactly where you are right now, they would not be able to contain themselves. They'd be bouncing off of walls and like, oh my god, wait, what? You get to do what? Wait, with who? Like what? Mom does what? Like, and it's like that's how they would react to that stuff. And it's like, it's it's honestly a little sad that there's so much of a disconnect between like ourselves and the past versions of ourselves at times. Cause like, yeah, it's like once upon a time, like this would have been everything times 10. And it's like, but now I find myself it not being enough. And it's like, wow, that's messed up, man. That 8-year-old version, you couldn't wait to get to where you are so they could do that. And then here you are there now with it. And you're like, it's whatever. It's like, what? Do not do them like that. You better have fun just for them. Like, and look, waste. Don't waste these opportunities, these blessings. I promise you. There's so much magic in the things that you don't look at as magical. I promise you. There's all of it is magical, you know? Because, like, I'm trying to think. It's like I'm trying to make an example, but I literally feel like everything is magical. So it's like anything I could say is like, duh, like, yeah, that could be magical. Because to me it is. But I know everybody doesn't look at things like that. It's like, I don't know, like this pen is magical. Like, look at it. Like, it kind of looks like a car. Like, it's got like the race car vibes, the red. It's like cherry red with the silver accents. Like, I don't know, like it feels like the way a nice foreign car feels when you look at it, to me at least. It's like, it's just a pen. There's somebody who's gonna be like, oh, it's just a pen, bro. And you might just be thinking like, it's just a pen, but it's like, to you, and it's like, to me, like, this is full of magic. Look at the smile on my face just talking about it. And it's like that's the power we have here. And it's like the more you can shed what's not you, the more you can to hone in and nurture that your connection to it all, the more experience there is to be, the more magic there is to be experienced by you. And not because there's going to be a whole bunch of super crazy mystical new experiences, but because you realize like it's all magical. It's literally all magical, and it's only as magical as you make it. And it's like, if you keep a rigid and narrow perspective of what magic is, that'll be your experience with magic. It'll be real narrow and real specific. But if you can kind of widen it and soften it and realize, like, yo, everything's magical at the point it becomes magical, it is, you know? Like, like I said, this pen is just a pen until it reminds me of something that's like, oh man, yeah, this is really cool. You know, it looks like that other thing, or oh yeah, look, wow, I like the way it feels. Or, oh wow, I like the way it writes. You know, it's like there, everything has so many qualities and so many angles for you to look at it from. So it's like, dude, I challenge you to just go find the most mundane thing in your environment and make it magical. And you can, and find a way to challenge yourself to be like, yo, how can I find the magic in this? Or how can I create a moment right now that's like literally magical, something that I'll never forget? And you can. Anything. You can go find a shoe and make it magical. You can go find a nickel and make it magical. Like anything. And if you don't believe me, I really challenge you to go do it. And challenge yourself and try. And when it works, realize that you can do that to everything. You can replicate that process with anything that shows up in your experience, anything you have, anything at your disposal. It's like, if you're bored, you can definitely go, yeah, you can go tap in with just about anything and make it something. It's like, as kids, we know that. These kids will play with anything. Their imagination is everything. Cats, animals know that too. Like, dogs will sit there and play with anything. They'll sit there, you drop something on the floor and now they're sitting there playing with it. Or like, you'll drop something, now the cat's smacking it across the room and chasing it and smacking it and following it. It's like, everybody gets that but humans. It seems like everybody understands that everything is magical. Everything can inspire. Everything can be play. Everything is like the best thing ever in the world, as long if you treat it that way. But it's like, yeah, these brains and all this free will we got, it's like we're so far removed from that. And it's like, we see fun, or we accept fun to be the things you go out and do, or you plan this event, or you go do this thing. And it's like, dude, fun is whatever the hell you have fun doing, honestly. So yeah, I challenge you to soften your awareness and allow yourself to have some fun, and in the most mundane of places, in the most unlikely places. Um, Capricorn and light work, and the first thing I heard in my head was um, getting outside and doing the work out there, because the Capricorn is giving me like earth energy, and light work is feeling like um, interacting with the people, because I know a lot of light workers, a lot of our stuff. Um, yeah, we typically do our work in the ways we do our work. Some of us to ourselves, we get things done, we share, or we talk to people from a distance. Especially with all these online collectives and communities. Um, but this feels like bringing the light like outside, like, and that might just be like, like today I'm gonna go for a walk and I'm gonna wave at everybody I see, or at the store I'm gonna strike up random conversations with whoever I end up standing next to for more than a couple seconds. And it's like that, and just shedding the light and shining your light and amplifying the energies outside, um, and in a really really grounded way, and understanding that goes really far right now. So yeah, if you're somebody who identifies as a light worker, or if you have a spiritual practice of any kind or anything like that, the call is definitely to, hey, get it going outside, and to take it on the road, take your light on tour. And yeah, like I said, it doesn't have to be anything big. It doesn't have to be like now you're outside doing tarot readings on the corner, to anybody who pops up, or like you're out there preaching and telling somebody, oh, oneness is the truth, everybody, and like you don't have to do that, but really just going out and engaging and doing the light work in person, showing and leading by example. Like, I'm definitely not saying to go talk nobody's ear off or try to go convince somebody of stuff, they're not ready to be convinced of, but really just allowing people to experience your light and feel it and all that stuff in a really real way. But also got 11, and also her 1E1 in my head, which is so childish, but that's fun. So yeah, and just looking at it, also it looks like a path to me, like it's a little pathway, like you can walk between it. And wow, that's a really interesting thing. So in my head, I'm noticing like how important the space in this number is. Like, the number is 11, and I feel like we typically identify with the 1-1, but it's like this space in between here really makes or breaks the number. Like, without the space at all, like if they were to get, it would just look like a 1. Even if you put them right next to each other with no space, it would just look like a thick 1, right? It wouldn't look like a number. So it's like, yes, these lines are important in it being an 11, but what's carrying most of the weight and what's gluing this whole thing together is the space in between, because that's what lets you know that it's an 11. That's what separates an 11 from a 1. Like I said, there was no space at all. They'd look really close, but it would just look like a thick 1. Like, you wouldn't see any separation just because it's thicker. You would just be like, oh, okay, it's a thick 1. So that being said, that's just what it feels like. Pay attention to the space of things. Like, in a conversation, the space, like, this is you talking, they're talking, you talking, them talking, you talking, them talking. And then the space between, there's also information there, when nobody's talking, when y'all are just processing, or maybe that little awkward moment when y'all are just looking at each other, or that moment when you said something and they kind of looked away, or they were visibly uncomfortable. Those spaces that aren't necessarily them talking, you talking, them talking, you talking, but the space in between, which really glues the whole thing together, just like the space in the number. And it just feels like, be mindful of that in your walking life, in your experiences, and anywhere. And especially if it's somewhere where you're feeling confusion, where it's like, damn, this person's saying one thing, but our experience is another thing. Or, I don't understand, I keep doing the XYZ, but the results aren't really matching what I'm getting. Pay attention to the spaces. It's not necessarily just the physical of like, this is what I'm doing, this is the outcome. This is what I'm doing, this is the outcome. This is what I'm doing, this is the outcome. Okay, and the spaces might be, Okay, what are you not doing? Okay, what is needed? Like, okay, this is what you're doing, this is the outcome. But what is actually needed? Like if you're providing a service maybe, and you're like, damn, I'm really doing this to sell the service, and it's like, boom, the outcome is nobody's buying the service. But it's like, damn, I'm advertising, I'm spending all this money on advertising, I'm posting all this content, boom, nobody's buying the service is the outcome. It's like, okay, what is needed is in the space. Like, okay, what do they actually need? Um, what is stopping them from buying is in the space. What they even think of the service and what you're providing is in the space. And it's like, that's very important. And it's like, if you're only just focused on the one and the one and the one, the one, the one, you're going to miss much more of what's actually important and what's actually coloring the situation. So, yeah, that was a bit of a different read, but yeah, that felt very important. And I feel like you guys understood what I was getting at. Wow. Oh, this journey is cool, man. It's like, yeah, I would have never thought that's what a reading of that card would have looked like when I wrote that. Oh, yeah. I love it here, man. The journey that keeps on unfolding. Who are you? Who are you? Ask yourself. Get really clear on that. And I don't care if you spend all this time with yourself, you feel like you just know who you are so well, and you just know exactly what's going on. I challenge you to ask yourself, who are you? And I'm also feeling called to tell you to journal on it. I might journal on it. It feels like a good topic. And just really getting clear on that and allowing yourself to just write. Don't even think too hard. Automatic writing might be really good for this. And automatic writing is just when you just go and go and go, and you don't think about it. You just let your hand go. And you just express everything. Just let it keep going. Let it keep going. And at first it might feel a little weird, or like, but as you keep going, like, you'll definitely get a flow, and you just allow it to keep going. So yeah, answer, who are you? You might be surprised at what comes out. And you might realize that you're somebody who you might not have ever seen yourself as. But it's like, damn, that is me. So yeah, definitely get clear on that right now. And like I said, we're in Scorpio season, so transformations are everything right now. So getting clear on who you are is very important. So you can shed the things you aren't. If you don't know what's you and what's not you, you're going to be hesitant to shed anything, because it's all just your normal. And just because they're things you're used to doesn't mean they're things that are actually you and things that are best for you. So getting clear on who you are allows you to be, okay, this is who I am. And then now you can take that step further of being like, okay, what's not me? Like what needs to go, or what isn't in alignment to who I know myself to be, especially as I've just now gotten clear on that again. So yeah, definitely spend some time getting clear on that. And like I said, journal it. If you're a journaler and you like to write, definitely use that as a journal prompt. Six of Pentacles with the Wheel of Fortune on the bottom in reverse. And this feels like two things. This feels like the things that are coming in right now for you are a result of karma, which I know typically, karma, the connotation that karma gets is like you do bad, and then, the universe is going to come and, crack down on you and, give you all the bad that you did back. But at its root, karma is just cause and effect, It's like you put this in, you get this out. And yeah, what you put in is what you get out. So this feels like the things that are coming in for you right now are definitely a result of karma, whether that be good or bad. I'm feeling like it's mostly good. I feel like, yeah, it's just the good that you've been putting out, the love, the support, and all that. And even the abundance, if you're somebody who's been helping people, and, whether it be with resources or with actual, like, money and stuff like that. Understand that it's coming back in this season. And the Wheel of Fortune reverse just kind of just supports that, in the sense that it feels like the things that you put out, like this is a focus on your outputs more so than your inputs. Yeah, and it feels like, yeah, they're just coming back to you. And this is like in a season where you might be somebody who's kind of Right now things might be really hard, and it's like, damn. And you might even be like, damn, if I would have just, not given so much of myself, had I just, been selfish, had I not just been the caring person that I am, I probably wouldn't be in this situation. But understand that don't spend too much time feeling that way, and don't allow that to put you in a vibration that's not true to your essence and who you are. And understand that you help those people because that's who you are, and that's okay. And the things that are coming back right now that are going to bless you in this moment are a direct result of those things. So yes, they didn't come in right away. Yes, there's a perspective where you could be like, wow, if I didn't help them, I'd be so much further along. But understand that that's not the reality of the situation, and that where you are right now came with lessons. Where you are right now showed you who you are, showed you who other people are, who showed you who you can rely on, who you can't rely on, and all that. And now that you understand all that and you're clear on all that, and you're shedding these things, you're letting people go, you're putting things to rest, and you're realigning to the life that's you and that aligns to you, that okay, now you get to get everything back that you put out, and understand that the universe was holding it for you as you went through your lessons, as you were getting clear on all these things, and as you were becoming the person who can hold all the things that you're creating for yourself, who can sustain them all and truly experience them to the depth in which they're to be experienced. And now that you've done that, it's like, okay, here we're bringing back everything you put out tenfold. 014444, as I said that. And yeah, it's just your time. And understand that don't fall getting caught up in these illusions, because there's so many illusions. And it's like, it's easy to feel like, it's easy to feel like the way ahead is to be selfish. The way ahead is to screw people over because that's what the people at the top are doing, or it's like nobody's facing repercussions for the terrible things they're doing, or it's easy to look around and feel like, what's the point in being a good person when it's like, this person's terrible and they're getting this thing, and that person was a great person and they're sitting here suffering this thing. It's like, it's just easy to feel that pull to go, say F it and just go be whatever. And it's like, no, continue to be you, because there's so much life left. And it's like, if you could zoom out and see the big picture, you wouldn't spend any time thinking that way. You just continue to do you and know that, oh, okay, I'm going to be exactly where I'm supposed to be. And it's going to be a direct result of me being who I am this whole time, even when it was hard to be, even when nobody else was doing it, nobody was celebrating it, even when it was thankless. And understand that it's not thankless. It may feel like it, and that's only because you're looking for thanks from the outside. You're looking for validation from the outside. You're looking to keep up, or you're trying to control the outcomes. You're trying to control what your life looks like, which is reasonable. That's what anybody's doing. As if you're living a life you love, and you're trying to create a life that loves you back, but it's like, understand that the validation comes from within. The validation comes from how you feel when you do the things, and that you understand that they're authentically you and they came from your heart, and that you're not spending any time being fake. You're not spending any time manipulating. You're not spending any time or energy being anything other than you. And it's like, you can hang your hat on that and understand that your life is going to match. So if it doesn't match right now, understand that. Keep going. Just keep going. And please don't stop showing up, and don't stop showing up as you. And understand that, the life that matches who you are, that's in alignment to you, comes from you doing the things that are you and that align to you. So, Two of Cups. And it just feels like coming into union with yourself. Like the version of you you've been chasing meets the version of you that you are. And you realize that there was never any separation. The only difference between who you've been and who you are, who you're becoming, is just the awareness and the acceptance of that being who you are. Because the only way to become is to be anyway. Like, if you want to become more disciplined, you don't become more disciplined without practicing being disciplined. There's not. I'm trying to think of a way that you become more disciplined without simply just practicing it. Like if you're somebody who always says you're gonna do something, but then, time comes and you're like, I don't want to do that. It's like the only way to combat that is to choose differently each time it comes up. Like is to have the awareness and know like, my follow through is weak. I'm not really disciplined with that, and to understand that okay, at every time where I get to make a choice, it's like okay, are you gonna follow through, or are you gonna, that your follow through is weak. It's like the more times you can choose to follow through, the more times you can choose to be like, all right, no, let me be disciplined. You're gonna look up and you're gonna be disciplined now. But there's no other way to get to that point without being disciplined. So it's like you become by being, honestly. And yeah, so you realize like the separation between you and your higher self and your future self and all that is just you making that choice and owning it and continuing to choose that over and over and over and over again until it becomes something you don't have to choose to do, but you look up and it's just how you operate. And that's the process right there. And that's what this feels like. Like, yes, they're two different people there, And this also might be the balancing of the divine masculine and the feminine inside. And it's like my nose, like that never happens, but when I'm reading, it definitely do be happening. So I'm gonna pay more attention to that. But yeah, it feels like the masculine and feminine energies coming into balance as well. Your ability to receive with your ability to act, your ability to trust your intuition and then act on what your intuition is giving you. Knowing when to move and when to sit, knowing when to listen and when to talk. All those are a balance of masculine and feminine energy. It's a give and take. Life is a constant give and take, and it's like you find yourself on one side or the other in the flow of things. And understanding that both sides are important and that naturally that's how things operate is very important. And what this feels like, just feels like you're coming into a season of understanding that, and not just understanding it, but embodying it and receiving the blessings that come with that understanding and those knowings and that way of operating. So, hell yeah. Oh, I was about to say I'm gonna pull a few more and then call it. But yeah, they're still jumping, they're still going. Like it seems like the energy is definitely still kicking. So I'll sit with it a little longer. But I know we're approaching 2 hours and I don't want to keep y'all here all night.